Hey guys, welcome to the video. Basically, in this video, I'm going to show you how to improve an image. So what we're going to do is pull up an image. Any image works, really. But I'm just going to pull up an unedited image. I'm going to go... The music's a bit loud. I'm going to go into... Do I have unedited images? There we go. Here you go. This picture I took in Forza Horizon 4. I love the game. I've actually already edited this image, but I'll just go through it again. So there's a few steps to editing an image. Now, of course, you can start with these. The adjustments are probably the most obvious. You can just click window if you don't see them, select adjustments. But there's a few other steps I like to do. First step is I like duplicating the layer, going into filter, Gaussian blur, and blurring it a bit. Now what I would blur to is until you can tell the shapes, but you can't understand what they are. Now what this does is that it puts all the colors more together, if that makes sense. It like unifies the whole picture together. So you do that, then you set the layer to overlay, and now as you can tell, all the colors seem more together. You know, all the colors fit together. I'm trying to pass it down a bit because I don't like having it all the way. And yeah, that's one. It's pretty easy. So what that does, unifies all the colors. I like doing that to my images or finished files. Another one I like to do is make a new layer again, go into filter, other, and high pass. Now what this does, it makes the edges clearer, so it's separate. It's really sort of like anti-aliasing, I suppose, but for Photoshop. What you want to do for here is you want to select it until you can only see edges in your image. So I have a 2 for now, but it'd be different for you. And of course, go to overlay. There you go. And now, as you can tell, everything seems just a tad bit more sharper, but it really changes the whole mood. So yes. That's pretty much it for these. Of course there's other stuff, but I'm just going over my final edits as to what I do. So I'm going to go to select them all, and then Control E, which merges them. Now I'm going to go through these one by one. Now usually I just go in order. So let's start off with brightness and contrast. It's pretty obvious. The brightness, will turn up the whites a lot. Go down, lower the whites. I guess I'll keep it what it is. I like it. Now the contrast makes it, turn it up, makes it darker is darker, the lighter's lighter. Turn it down, makes it darker is lighter, and the lighter's darker, which I think is pretty nice. If you I want to get a good amount of colors in this, so I'm going to turn the contrast a bit down. Now next, what I like to go to is the levels. And I can go to each color level, but usually I just stick with RGB right here. Now levels, what it focuses on is the darkest darks and the lightest lights. So if I take this one and bring it down, it'll cut out these, so it'll consider the whitest white to be everything up to here. So notice that more and more colors are included in its whitest white. So turn it all the way down, it'll include all the colors to be white and make the whole picture white. So I don't want too many whites, so I'm turning it just a bit. I just want the headlights to be white, really. Then the darkest darks, I actually want to keep it pretty low. And you can go to curves, but the curves is basically the same thing, but a bit more fancier, waves and stuff. But as you can see, yeah, you can create crazy stuff. I don't fool around with it too much, so I'm gonna just delete that. Next one, exposure. That's an important one. Exposure, once again, it's like brightness, but how do I explain this? It focuses more on the pure whites. This focuses on the lights, the brightness. The exposure focuses on the pure whites. So it's really sensitive. I don't touch offset because it makes it look ugly. It looks like you create a new layer of white and then lower the opacity. That never looks good. Or black. So exposure makes the whiters white again, darker is dark. And then the gamma correction, what I like to do, let's say I have it turned up really high up, but there's some stuff I don't want so white. I would turn gamma correction up with it. So basically it corrects, I don't know what these terms mean, to be honest. This is what I learned personally. it corrects the opposite of it. So if I turn the exposure down, then I turn camera distraction down, notice that the brights go up. I don't know, I think it's a nice tip to adjust exposure when you want to change something, but don't want it to be so intense on the opposite values. So I'm going to turn it down a bit and turn camera correction up. So yeah, next, vibrance. This is always an important one. Color is important. What I'd like to do personally is turn up the vibrance a bit, turn the saturation down. So what this does, it cools the colors, because trust me, you don't want oversaturated colors. It hurts the eyes, not comfortable to look at for a long time. Turning up the vibrance a bit and lowering the saturation will be good enough. And then hue/saturation, of course, an important one. Obviously, you can change the hue of the picture if that's what you're into. You can choose specific colors, but that's a different video altogether. Lower and raise your saturation. I recommend just doing this through vibrance. And the lightness. Now, I don't like bringing up the lightness too much, because once again, it's like making a white layer and lowering the opacity. But if you do it with darkness, it's sort of the same thing, but just not as many whites. So I suppose it's not as obvious, but I usually just don't touch it. But I do like changing the hue a bit, because as if, I don't know, some unexpected colors. Unexpected colors are always prettier. Notice now it's lighter blue, which I actually don't like. I'm going to turn it back to a bit of purple. Oh, too much. There you go. And that's really it for that. Select top layer, hold shift, select bottom layer, select all of them, including in between. Click Control-E again. Now, okay. Another thing I like to do is going on my inner glow and sort of giving the whole piece, the outside of the piece, a cool little lighting effect. So you set the blend mode to color dodge, set the size to 0, choke, turn the size up. You need the size. Notice it sort of lightens the edges. I think that's pretty nice. And if you want the opposite, you can always set it to multiply, which sort of creates a vignette effect. So yeah, don't turn it up too much, obviously. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and goodbye.